A very warm welcome to you. It's great to have you for company on this edition of the program. As you know, we are source for latest happening information in the financial sector of the nation's economy. Many thanks also to our partner on this program, Standard Alliance Life Assurance Limited, for their continued support. My name is Faith Owode. On this edition of the program, we'll bring you highlights of two major events of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, that took place recently here in Lagos in commemoration of their Golden Jubilee anniversary celebrations. We'll kick off by bringing you highlights of the public presentation of practice license and seal to 27 deserving members of the Institute. That will be closely followed by highlights of the 2013 annual lecture of the CIBN. The theme of the lecture this year was Banking Makeover, What Will Change? The special guest of honor at the very colorful event was General Yakubu Gowon, GCFR, and the guest speaker was Dr. Andrew Hilton from the United Kingdom. Plus, our voice pop segment, Waiting Insurance, the DOSEF. These and many more are what we have for you on our lineup this week, so I urge you as always to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. But all are coming to you after this break. Please stay with us.
On Almond Finance and Wealth Report, we ask the right people the right questions.
No Nigerian trusts the other, and they don't believe, the average Nigerian doesn't believe that the insurance company will pay the claim. They believe that the insurance company will not pay the claim. So when you pay the claim, they are quite pleasantly surprised.
A system that ensures that your naira will depreciate, that excess liquidity will prevail when you earn increasing dollars. It should be the reverse.
The whole idea of insurance, is, as far as I'm concerned, is to spread the risk. That is the actual cost.
We highlight the right event. And the right music. Join your host, Faith Owode, every week on this station. Almond Finance and Wealth Report, the right platform.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, is the umbrella professional body for bankers in Nigeria. The CIBN was incorporated in 1976 as the Nigerian Institute of Bankers. It was chartered in 1990 and is now covered by the CIBN Act No. 5 of 2007. The Institute is authorized to control entry into the banking profession, to set standards for bankers, and to maintain professional ethics through sanctions of erring members. Part of the responsibility of the CIBN is to ensure the furtherance, maintenance, and observance of ethical standards and professionalism among practitioners of the banking profession in Nigeria. In line with the provisions of the Act of 2007, the CIBN recently presented its practice license and seal to 27 practitioners drawn from various financial sectors of the economy. The practice license of the CIBN empowers recipients to practice and use their knowledge and experience of banking outside the four walls of the bank. This means that recipients can consult for banks, finance, and other allied matters. The practice license presentation was preceded by a business session with focus group discussion and experience sharing. The session kicked off with a presentation on utilization of practice license for mobile money services by Mr. Adedapo Adeleke, Director, Bank Examination, Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC. The second paper, Utilization of the Practice License for the Services of Central Bank of Nigeria, was by Mr. Femi Fabanwo, Director, Other Financial Institutions, Central Bank of Nigeria. In his presentation, Mr. Fabanwo admonished the new licensees on the need for checks and control to ensure that what is collected is properly reflected in their books.
What is the responsibility of members of the board? What is the kind of oversight they need to have on management? And what is the kind, how do they draw the line between trying to run the place themselves and trying to play oversight. So this is the kind of guidance, and then when they want to become overbearing, you need to advise them how they can go about. You can supervise without becoming overbearing institution. And then internal control is another big issue for small institutions. They don't know the kind of checks and balances they need to put in place, how they can control and ensure that their loan officers who are out of the field and maybe collect money are not pilfering or suppressing the cash they have collected, to ensure that there are controls in place, either using IT or some manual mechanism, to ensure that whatever is collected is actually reflected in the servers of the institution.
The experience sharing and syndicate session was chaired by Magzi O.C.K. Unwegbu, a past president of the institute. The practicing license and seal of the CIBN is given to those who have gone through the rigorous screening process and capacity building exercise meant to update their skills and expertise that will enable them give advice to clients on a wide range of issues on banking, finance and other allied matters. The 2013 public presentation of the practice license with the theme Practicing to Potential, Opportunities and Challenges drew dignitaries from within and outside the banking profession to the banker's house. In attendance were the President Institute of Stockbrokers of Nigeria, President Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Chief Asukwo Ekpeyong and a host of others. Welcoming licensees and their well-wishers to the presentation ceremony, the Chairman, Board of Practice License of the Institute, Otumba Mrs. Debola Oshibogu, said that the practice license does not permit licensees to receive money from the public, as that is the exclusive preserve of money banks.
Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria Act No. 5 of 2007, Section 16, confers the responsibility to grant practice license of the Institute to its members. It is as a result of this that the Governing Council on October 6, 2008 approved the issuance of practice license to qualified fellows and associates who satisfy the criteria. I wish to reiterate that the practice license does not in any way permit or authorize or empower a licensee to receive or accept deposits from the public. That function is reserved for the money deposit banks. The practice license only empowers the holders to consult in banking, finance, and other allied matters. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of the efforts to ensure consistent adherence to standards of professional practice and performance, the licensees will be regularly visited by the appointed monitors who are authorized to, among others, examine the manual, the working papers, and evaluate compliance with standard of professional practice and performance, the CIBN Act No. 5 of 2007, and the Code of Ethics and Professionalism in the banking industry.
Also speaking, the President and Chairman of Council of the CIBN, Mr. Segun Aino, OFR, says that the Institute will continue to provide capacity training to enhance knowledge.
We have been doing a lot to promote the practice license, and during our stakeholder engagements with various stakeholders, we continue to sell this. We've done it with Almond, where we give each everywhere we go, we always give the list of our program members who have this license and marketing them to say these are the people that can do a thorough job for you in the area of competence. We said the same thing in the NDIC and the Central Bank. In fact, there was a time, but a few months ago, the Central Bank advertised for consultants to two-sided jobs, and there was CFA, two CFAs, and there was no practice license. I think they put some other kind of and we said no. We have what we call practice people. We have just our benefit analysis, and we were giving parents, I think the registrar for that battle. I was told that yes, let them apply. I hope some of them got contracted for those jobs. So everywhere we go, we keep on marketing, even at the FCC and the ICBC. The list is with them, and we hope that some of these institutions have been able to get back to you to request you to come and do some work for us. for them.
The banking industry offers variety and unique career patterns that provide opportunities, advancement, and challenging assignments for practitioners. Giving his remarks, the second special guest of honor, Chief Asukwo Ekpeyong, commended the CIBN for what they are doing, but implored them to do more to publicize the new licensees.
I think the leadership of the institute should make it possible that in registering for as financial advisors in the ASEC, I think our own license, practice license, should be a condition. Because I'm a registered member of that SEC for financial services or financial advice, and I think there is need for SEC to have certain qualifications to qualify people for that registration, and I think we are very eminently qualified for that. The other area I think you can also, and I was just looking at it, if the Director General of the CSC was here today, I would have said that we should also make an appeal. Right now, it's just the lawyers and the accountants who qualify to, operate at CSC. I don't see why we should not talk to them and also create opportunity for our people. Those of us who have practice license, we should also come in as a qualification for dealing with the CSC.
The members qualified to apply for the practice license of the institute would have worked for a minimum of 5 years post-ACIB qualifications, among other criteria. The practice license of the CIBN is renewable every 2 years. With the goodwill messages taken, the practice license will be presented to the new licensees. Among the licensees this year was Mr. Femi Ekundayo, a past president of the institute.
As a holder of practice license and seal of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, I do hereby undertake to abide. 1. The provisions of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria Act number 5 of 2007. And its amendment or reenactments thereof. The policies, rules, and regulations on practice license and seal of the CIBN.
The policies, rules, and regulations on practice license and seal of the CIBN.
The CIBN Act number 5 of 2007 gives the institute the mandate to determine the standards of knowledge and skills to be attained by persons seeking to become members of the banking profession. Furthermore, under Section 16 of the Act, the CIBN also have the responsibility to grant banking practice license. The public presentation this year was part of activities to mark the 50th anniversary celebrations of the institute. Responding on behalf of the new licensees, Mr. Femi Ekundayo pledged that the license and seal given to them by the institute is an opportunity for them to distinguish themselves by doing it right.
I want to say we feel elated, and I also want to once again encourage past and present licenses. The task is ours. He said also by Shakespeare, the fault is not in our stars, but in ourselves that we are under this. And if we go in to get out of the wood and establish ourselves where we belong and put our footprint on the sand of times, this is an opportunity for us to distinguish ourselves. God will guide us. He will enable us and give us the spirit of doing things right.
The new licensees will do well to conduct themselves ethically to avoid being sanctioned by the institute.
Insurance company are not really doing well because we are not security conscious. Nigeria is a country which I believe people have not grown to that level, and people are not security conscious to ensure either their life or their properties. Maybe it could be as a result of the level of education we have, I don't know, or exposure, I don't know. But I know Nigerians are exposed because they travel here and there all over the world. You find Nigerians, even the average Nigerians. But I think the business might not be doing very, very well.
The CIBN continues its 50th anniversary celebration with its annual lecture. The theme of the lecture this year was Banking Makeover, What Will Change? The guest of honor was General Yakubu Gowon, GCFR, while the guest speaker was Dr. Andrew Hilton from the UK. Delivering his keynote address, the special guest of honor, General Yakubu Gowon, GCFR, employed the CIBN to work hard to ensure that banking remains relevant to our national development.
In light of the foregoing, I urge the CIBN to work tirelessly at ensuring that banking remains relevant because of national development, especially in terms of support of the growth of the real sector of the economy. This also means that the banking sector cannot continue to adopt a one-size-fits-all solution to the need of their diverse customers. Priority needs to be accorded particularly to the revival of manufacturing in order to create more employment as well as build a productive economy while changing the orientation that we are a consumption-based economy. And I hope that we will also give serious attention, and particular attention to agriculture, because if we do that, we can be able to feed ourselves and also help feed others. And there's a lot of industry that can gladly go from that.
The CIBN also used the occasion of the 50th anniversary celebration to unveil the compendium of its annual lectures from 2000 to 2012. Otumba Mrs. Oshibogu supervised the unveiling.
The President will cut the tape. His Excellency will unveil. The book will be given to Dr. Hilton to showcase. And then the President himself will go and present the book to our founding Papa. Thank you.
During this cutting of the ribbon to unveil the compendium, I want to thank everybody that has been part of this, all the people that have been our guest lecturers in the past, all the past presidents that have passed through the route that I'm passing today, and everybody in the institute for making this happen. To the glory of God, what to cut the ribbon.
With the unveiling over, the guest speaker, Dr. Andrew Hilton, took the podium. Speaking on the theme, Banking Makeover, What Will Change, Dr. Hilton noted that Nigeria's financial sector faces the same challenges like any other country of the world.
I would have to say that the Nigerian financial scene now looks an awful lot like the financial scene anywhere else, albeit with a few local wrinkles. And it's important to say that we face exactly the same regulatory problems as we face in the UK, as the Eurozone basis as the United States faces. And so far as I can see it, the regulatory response has been pretty much the same here as it's been anywhere else. For that, I guess much of the credit has to go to the government solution. However, it's obviously not all good news for a problem. The answer to every problem is okay. For a regulator, the answer to every problem is regulation, which means that there's reluctant progression towards more and more regulation, more and more narrowly prescriptive regulation, and more onerous and more complex requirements being put on banks, and being put on all other formal financial institutions that find themselves within the regulatory net.
Given the nature of the paper presentation, Dr. Hilton's paper generated interest among participants.
You said the problem with banking is intrusive regulation, over-regulation. And it's unfortunate that this is the view held by not only regulators but also politicians and by the ordinary men and women of industry in the world. Nobody talks about lending. You said, you even said it. I don't care what they do with it, because what they get. The problem with banking, or the way I see it, is lending. No bank has been killed by regulation. No. Banks have died. They have tried because they lent well, and they have died because they didn't lend well. You send money out, it doesn't come back. That is it. And that is why we don't care about training. We don't train people to know how to lend. You can't make an MBA graduate from whatever university come into the bank and then he starts lending without learning.
The Institute also celebrated 50 members who have excelled. The 50 members were drawn from the 21 institutions with linkage program of the Institute, as well as members who have excelled in the qualifying examinations.
Chartered List of Bankers of Nigeria has linkage arrangement with 21 universities and polytechnics in Nigeria. We want to celebrate the best in the final year of each of these 21 institutions, making 21 awardees that will be awarded scholarship courtesy of Chartered List of Bankers of Nigeria today. Still talking about our good English from Dubai, what I am not sure of is whether we'll be able to match naira for naira and dollar for dollar, as we saw. But this is a priceless award coming from a revered institute, giving recognition to those that have excelled in their classes.
The Institute also honored 8 participants who came tops in the essay competition. The overall best this year was Mr. Adedeji Isaac Alonge of First Bank of Nigeria PLC.
Community of this very unique award, the anniversary essay competition, and I want to enjoy you to continue to keep it up. You aim for excellence in anything you do. I can assure you that you should be very practical. Congratulations.
No doubt the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria has come a long way these 50 years, developing manpower for the banking sector. It is hoped that going forward, the Institute will ensure that the banking sector continues to make more positive impact in and on the society.
All
Alright, that's the time on this edition of the program. I do hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I always say here, for comments, questions, observations, do feel free to get in touch with us on 017763981 or 08033357879, or better still, send us an email, almond4xx@yahoo.com or almondproduction@gmail.com. You can also visit us on our website, www.almondreports.com. Many thanks to our partner on this program, Standard Alliance Life Assurance Limited, for their continued support. Do not forget also to join us every Wednesday by 9:45 a.m. on Niger FM 102.7 for our Pidgin English program called Waiting Insurance They Do Safe. My name is Faith Uwode. Until same time, same station next week, when we come your way with a fresh package of this program, from all of us here is goodbye.